Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my weekly photo talks where I talk about gear that I really like or that I maybe don't, but I've experienced it, I used it, and I use it on a regular basis. So today's is the Rolleiflex 3.5F, which is, I think, the best Rolleiflex made. I like it because it's a little smaller than the 2.8C that I have, and it has a viewfinder that is extremely bright. Somebody had changed the ground glass, I'm betting, on it, or it came with an extremely bright ground glass, because there are many Rolleiflexes that I've tried, but the viewfinders are dim because they haven't been replaced. They were made with an old style ground glass, and if you replace it with like a Beatty inner screen, or there are a few other brands out there, you can make it so much brighter. And if you haven't done that and you have a Rolleiflex that you don't always enjoy using because of that, get that done. That's a great, great modification. But, excuse me, this camera has a 3.5 75mm lens. I think I picked up this lens shade from another camera, and I realized, hey, that'll fit right on there. And I just like the look of a lens shade on that camera. That makes it so that that lens isn't going to get any flare. Plus, it's a coated lens. It's a Xenotar. They made two kinds of multi-element, I think like 6-element lenses. They made the planar lens and the Xenotar lens. And the two of them are great, great lenses. You can't tell them apart. This camera isn't in the greatest condition. It used to have a meter here, and somebody removed it, and a local repairman told me, he said, that's not even a piece of Rolly black. That's like the side of a tin can somebody glued on there and painted black. You can actually see, if you look, you can actually see edges that are cut like with tin snips. But it doesn't matter, it works. And he also mentioned to me that if you look through it, it doesn't quite focus at infinity. Something's up with this camera. And I thought, I don't really shoot at infinity. I typically shoot people that are like within 4 feet to 10 feet. Sometimes I shoot street, and it's things that are 15 feet away. But I rarely ever shoot infinity. And I'm a huge proponent of fixing things if they're breaking and getting cleanings and lubes and adjustments done if you need them. If you don't need them, spend the money on film. This camera works. And every time I do portraits with it, I shoot it for the Wise Photo Project, I photograph it for street. It's a great way to meet people. I was just out with, actually it was a different Rolleiflex that day, but I was out with a Rolleiflex at the local outdoor bar seating area on Sunday of last week. And so many people came up to me because the camera was sitting there. And I ended up talking to a few, and I ended up photographing some, and it's a great conversation starter. People are enamored with the Rolleiflex. In fact, I did a project maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and I walked around a market with just a Rolleiflex. And I found that that camera became the attractor. I'll talk about that in another episode. But anyway, the Rolleiflex 3.5F, highly, highly recommend it. They can be in mint condition and cost a bunch. This one's a little bit messed up, not great. It's like a little bit road worn, but it works. Again, I'm not looking for it to be a complete showpiece. I'm looking for it to be a complete user. And it works really well for that. So if you're looking for, of all the Rolleiflexes, the 2.8F is going to cost you an awful lot. The 3.5F is a little bit less, but it's also a little bit smaller and a little bit less weight. And if you can get it with a lens hood, lens hoods are 60 to 80 bucks extra. So try to get somebody who's selling it as a package. Let them have bought the accessories and then get it. It uses a proprietary pins, little scissor thing to put a strap on. So I just use basic rings and put a leather strap on. I don't like branded straps, so a nice small leather strap works good for this. Just make sure your leather isn't brittle and isn't breaking. I've had leather straps snap on me. Be careful of that. But The Rolleiflexes have the wind with a handle instead of a wheel. It makes it much faster. I'm not in that big of a hurry, but I like the fact that it works that well. It has automatic loading. You just put the tongue of the film into the camera. Of course, my camera is loaded right now, so you can't open it. And you just put the tongue in and you wind it, and it senses when it's at picture number 1. So you never have to use a red window like in some of the Rolleicords and some of the other cameras that are TLRs. But if you're looking for one, I recommend it. It's incredible. It's my favorite camera. This is my one desert island camera. If I could only have one camera ever. I love large format. I love Leicas. I love all my other cameras. This is the one that I would take because this is the one, this model, maybe a little cleaner one, but this model, bright screen, is my favorite. Rolleiflex 3.5F. All right, your experiences. Have you used one? Do you like it too? How can you not? I look forward to your comments. Hey, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. Thanks to everybody who is doing that. I very, very much appreciate you. And I'll be back next week. We'll talk more photography. As always, here's the good light.